I want to talk about Syston.online. This is basically a business directory website that I've had an idea for about 2 years and I never got round to doing it. And on Thursday, I decided, no, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to get this created. And that's what I've been doing for the last 2.5 days in my own time, of course. No one's commissioned me to do this. Now, the basis of this website is to kind of give something back to the community. There are already directories out there, some of them online, some of them are printed like a leaflet or like a newsletter. You usually get them monthly. However, there is a cost attached to that. And I think there's going to be a lot of people here who will have something similar in their area. So just to give you an example, to have like 2 or 3 lines in like a massive list, like a printed document, it's £8 for about 2 to 3 lines, and then £1 per every line. So if you decide you're going to have like an advert, which is just words, okay, it could set you back easily £15 to £20. And it's one of those things where someone might see it, they might take an interest, or they might forget about it. And then there's another printed booklet, which is quite popular. It comes out every month. If you want to have a slot, which is about, if you imagine you had A5 and split it into half, so you had A6, then split it again. So give or take A7 size, £44, £48 a month. That's quite a big investment for something that people might not even take an interest in. And here's the other reason why I'm not overly keen on printed leaflets like that. You go and put in an email address or a web link or a Facebook group link. A lot of people, unless you don't have a QR code, aren't going to take the time to go in and type that in. I know a lot do. I probably would if I really wanted to, but there's a missed opportunity here. And the whole Syston.online website is to kind of counter that. And by the way, here's the big reason I really hope it takes off and helps people out. It is completely free to sign up for this website. It's built in WordPress with Elementor. We are using the MyListing theme, and I'll tell you more about that in a moment. But the idea is that you sign up, you submit your details. You can obviously search for businesses, any that have currently signed up at the moment. And you can go to a search page as well, and you will have a map visible as well. And it's very interactive, and if you want, you can just, filter specifically on particular business types as well. And here's what's really, really cool about this. If you were to now go in and actually click and view a listing, you don't just get a few details. You get quite a bit. You can call now, send an email, you can go straight to their website. You can even leave a review. You can, you get more details about the business type and the features. By the way, these are taxonomies, and I'm very quickly going to show you how to build that. We have a description field down here, and you can be as long as you want. Obviously, don't go into too much detail. Website link, email. By the way, these are actual active links, right? You don't just have to copy and paste it into your URL. You can now do that. And the same with the phone number. It is a link there. You got your social media. You add what you want. You have your location on a map. And here's the extra little bit that I think is really, really cool. What if you want to showcase your services, your price list? You don't have to put a price in. You can put whatever you want into here. This is free text in a way. But imagine you're a business and you're trying to get out there. Something like this could massively work. Now, something I do want to mention though, this is kind of controlled by the MyListing theme. Other than the colors and the way you arrange items, you can't really mess around with the look of it. Now, you could do if you want to get dirty with JavaScripting here and there and all of that, and maybe a bit of CSS, but I would probably say don't go overly crazy on it. And the other page that you don't have a huge amount of control is when you get to the add listing page, whereby it now shows you the packages. Again, you can mess around with it if you want to get dirty with like a child theme and all of that, but I would recommend you don't do that. Here, you only can see one package because that's all I'm doing. I was originally going to have a paid package as well, but I've now decided I'm not going to do that. And if any of you are wondering, well, how are you going to make an income of this? Because I carry the overheads, the domain, the hosting, looking after the website. Well, all I'm going to say is if people want to support us and there is a donate button down here, they can do, and they can donate whatever they want. But the idea is that I want this to grow and grow really, really well for other businesses. I mean, everything you see here is pure Elementor, and that's the beauty about the MyListing theme. In fact, let me just show you the theme now. Obviously Theme Forest or Envato, wherever you want to go get it, it is $59. It's a one-off cost. If you want to pay a bit more for ongoing support, you can do, but I actually find that unless you're doing anything crazy, it's a really simple theme to use, and I've covered this several times in previous videos, but this is me using the latest version right now, and I'm going to very quickly go through what were the steps and the things that I did. So what you would do is you would get the theme. You would then go over to obviously your website on WordPress. Look, I can't even find it. And you would go and install the theme. I mean, there is no need for me to have hello on here, by the way, as well. It's just there as force of habit when I'm first using a WordPress website. But the MyListing theme, I don't have a child theme, because if I was going to do anything funky crazy with it, I would be using the code snippets, because there's nothing wrong with using a child theme. I just like to leave the parent theme as it is, so if there's ever any updates or anything going on, I know that I'm covered off by that. A few things I will mention before we drop into the actual MyListing theme is that if you are using Elementor, I do recommend that you disable the default colors and default fonts that normally you would get from the theme, because I want to have full-on control over what I do. And of course, if you are using Elementor, or basically any system, to be honest, make sure you go and custom load your fonts in a little bit like this. We're using the Poppins font, and if I go and you can see the styles I'm bringing through, only bring through styles you actually are using. Don't bring through weight 100 or weight 900 unless you intend to use it. Let's also cover off what else I have on this website, because we're going to kind of fly through it. I'm not going to go through everything step by step by step, but I'm going to show you the important bits, and you should get it and understand it as we fly through. Code snippets. This is just so that I can drop in some snippets to basically help the performance of the website, especially if you're using Elementor or any other system. So that's a pretty good one to use. We've covered this in our Page Speed Performance 2023 video, and we did another update about a month ago. It's a 4-minute video. You know, it's going to not take you long to understand what you need to do to help your website do really, really well in page speed. Cookies, yes, GDPR cookie consent. This is a free plugin for the cookie consent. Elementor Pro, obviously, because we've got that installed. By the way, the MyListing theme is kind of built with Elementor in mind as well. So, you know, the way they build it, and you can go and have a look at some of their demos if you like, they are built with that, so it makes absolute sense for you to continue to use that. EWW Image Optimizer. Now, this is setting me back roughly about, I think it's £4 to £5 a month. This is going to convert images into WebP. Now, why have I done that? If I just show you some of the images we currently have at the moment over here, any images I upload are usually going to go through bulkresizephotos.com, so they're converted into WebP. But any images that are uploaded by anyone else, remember, you're allowing people to upload to your media library or your website. You might say to them, hey, it's got to be WebP, but they're not even going to understand what that is, let alone do it. EWW Image Optimizer is, for me, a really good, cost-effective plugin to use. It allows me to have up to 25,000 per month. Obviously, they'll come back and let you know if you're exceeding that, but 25,000 images per month, that's damn good, right? It is about, I think it's £7 a month, but if you go to the EWW website, before you pay, you will get a pop-up saying sign up, and as soon as you sign up, it then goes and gives you like a 20% discount. So the cost goes down from like £7 to about £5 or something like that. So £5 a month for me to have my images whenever anyone uploads. And if you do doubt that, I can show you here. So here are like these images here have been uploaded by users. If we go over here, this image here, I mean, look at the title for starters. It's, you know, like, what is that? But it shows that it's been reduced by 76%. Now, that's still not perfect. I would like it to be smaller, but the images will only be visible on their listing page. It's not on my homepage or anything like that. So this is like this image here is 1.8 megabytes. It reduced it by 80%. If we go in and look at the image, it is still 242 kilobytes. I get that, okay? And I would love it to be smaller, but originally it was 1.8 megabytes. That's a really important thing you should consider. Don't go letting people uploading images without thinking about what you're going to do with them. Fast press is part of my page speed performance. Again, go watch our video. The same with WP Meteor. This is free. This is free. I'm on a SiteGround server, so the SiteGround security plugin, I've left that. I used to use all-in-one firewall security. I'm not a fan of that anymore. I could use WordFence. I could use security as well. Security always sounds weird if you say it really fast, but I've got the SiteGround security one, which is free to use, comes with SiteGround, so I've just left that on. Stripe payment for WooCommerce. Obviously, this is to handle the packages and WooCommerce PayPal payments as well. Now, I may remove these at a later stage. Reason being is that I now have made the listings be completely free. But if you are going to have a paid package, then you want to make sure you've got your payment gateways or your WooCommerce bits and pieces all set up. Okay, let's now go and jump in. So when you've got the MyListing theme installed, you want to go over to Theme Tools, and this is where it is pretty simple. You go and set your logo, you go and set your color scheme. I don't really bother with their header. I like to have full-on control over how my headers are going to look, especially with the mobile and the toggle and all of that. So I will build out our own header footer template. So I'm not really bothered by this, and the same with the footer. I just go disable, I don't want it. If you do want to use what they give you, that's fine. But if you're going to be using Elementor Pro, why don't you just create your own? Because there's nothing worse than when you go, oh, I don't want that there, but you're stuck because it's almost set in stone a little bit. So I would say build out your own. This is now where we decide on our page, and over here I have said the explore page, and this is a page I've created and I've dumped this widget in. That is the page we're going to be using. Let me go back, explore page, and we have an add listing page. This will make sense in a moment. Okay, they're just the names of the pages. Single listing, this is now a little bit of what is the color of the overlay. So if I go over here and I click back onto there is a bit of an overlay going on over here. So there's an image, and this is the image, okay? What we do is add a bit of a black overlay, and you can define the color here and you can set your overlay. So I've gone with 0.5 over there. We're not going to have a blog page, and even if we did, I'd be using the Elementor loop grid and my own blog archive, post archive template anyway. Custom code. Now, you might like this one. This one isn't actually needed there. This one here, the Finder map. If you do not enable that, then when you go to the map, and I'll just show you over here, so let's just go to this one here, you have a secondary icon appear over the marker as well. So if we go here where it says Web Squadron, you'd have another little icon, and I don't like it because it's like you got the logo and another icon, and I find that really annoying. So if you ever want to get rid of that, .finder map, I display none. That's it. Pretty simple there. I'm not bothering with the shop page, and I'm not messing around the typography because I'll have a custom font, and I will be using my own global colors, global font inside Elementor, and of course, well, yeah, it's just I like to, again, have control over how we do things. Performance, every now and again, you do have to just kind of do something like this. Just let it regenerate, and that's how quick it is. It's that quick. It just does it. Listing stats. When someone logs into their account, so they're now viewing their coverage, basically something like this. This is where you can now define what do they actually see here. Now, you do get lots of options. Enable active promotions, which we're not doing. Show them the platform, show them the devices. I personally think people are going to be quite happy just seeing how many views they get in the last 24 hours, 7 days, 30 days as well. By the way, these are kind of real views because I've shared this with the Web Squadron community and also with some people from Syston as well. So I'm pretty sure they've jumped in to have a look, which is why you get this massive spike. And it only went live like the day before yesterday. So if you want to modify what they can see, you can do that, and you can also modify the colors. So you get to make this very bespoke to what's going to work for you and your branding. Now, if you are, I mean, I don't mind showing you this because you can't see the full API there anyway. but the map box. So you have the option of using Google Maps or Mapbox. Setting up Mapbox is so super simple. You click this, you create an account, you get an API key, you drop the API key in, and that's literally it. Why did I go for Mapbox and not Google Maps? Google Maps, the setup is so long-winded. You got to go in, you got to create an authentication, credentials, do this, do that, put your credit card details in, even though you won't charge you unless you hit a certain threshold, and boom, 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 and it goes on and on and on, and it drives me crazy. And I'm so glad that the MyListing theme brought out the map box about a year ago or something like that. Now, on the user roles, this is where you can define 2 user roles. So I am going to ask that if you are a business and you want to be part of this website, when you sign up, you'll have a display name, email, username, password. That's all I need from you, okay, to set yourself up. I mean, there's not a lot you can choose, to be honest, but that should be pretty simple. However, if you also wanted your customers to create an account, so at the moment on our website, you can't bookmark the listings. If you want to enable them to bookmark, so, oh, I like that, they can bookmark it, they need to have an account set up. If they also want to do 2-way communication, which I'm not always keen on doing, and I'll tell you why in a moment, they would need to set up an account as well. But I've just gone for business. Now, why don't I like the 2-way account? If you want to send an email, you click it and it opens up your email. If you want to visit their website, you click it to contact them, you can go to their website. If I put a contact form on our website, my website becomes responsible now for the 2-way communication between the user and the business. And what if something fails? What if they enter in a message and it doesn't go all the way, it doesn't send it? What if they don't get notified of it? I'm responsible for that because I've cost them a lead, potentially, even though they're getting all this for free. So I like to not have a 2-way communication. However, if this was a tutor website and you were going to set up like tutors for teaching, and then you're going to have students, then you might want to have that 2-way in terms of sharing information like that. That also goes with direct messages. I don't like to enable that because I have done it before, and there's always the odd little problem here and there. So I'm just not a fan of it. You can enable social login for Google and Facebook. Again, I can't be bothered with this because you got to go down the whole API key and integrating, and the world is forever changing in terms of API. That I just don't like doing that. Don't need to bother about other, and I don't bother with any shortcodes here as well because we're going to build everything out with Elementor Pro. That was literally the settings. Now we come on to the beefy bit, which is where we create our listing type. If we go back over to the website, you'll notice here that you only have businesses. If I set up another listing type for events, you would see in a tab over here for events, and you would click it, and now you could have a whatever fields you want to show for events. Maybe you've got cars, maybe you got food, maybe you got drink. I've done everything under one, so even though I've got events here, that isn't actually active, right? That's not being used anywhere. I've only gone for businesses. Now, when it comes to businesses, there's quite a lot of steps here, but I'm going to try and fly through it as best as I can. The general is where you go and set up your singular name and your plural name, and you can have an icon. And the icon you have here is going to be the icon you see over there. So pretty simple there. You can then define if there is a package. Now I've got 2 packages, the free listing and the premium. Both of these don't do anything more than give you the opportunity to put in a description, which you don't need to worry about, or to give it a label. These will not appear here until you have gone over to WooCommerce products and you have created a product. And I'm now going to show you that we have events, which is not active. We have a free listing and we have a premium. At some point, I was considering whether we would enable listings, but if you wanted to see, I'll show you, if you wanted to have access to extra fields, so everything in bold over here, you would pay £27 per year. If you want to set up an annual subscription, you've got to get the WooCommerce subscription plugin. It's the only one that works properly with this. I was going to enable it, but then I would contact people at the renewal date to check, do they still want to go with it, rather than taking the money out and then having to handle refunds or accusations or anything like that. I've now decided that we are not going to do a premium version. Also, I should point out though that when you do create a product, down here, you will now have an option called listing package. You pick that, even for the free product, okay? If there's no price, you leave it as 0. If you were to pay for this, how many listings can you have? So can you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? How many listings can you have? Is it that they got to pay per listing? Or, you know, do they get a certain quantity? How long will it last for? 20 days, 30 days, 365 days, leave it open. Basically, there's quite a lot of stuff they can do here. So before it did have that, and I've now removed it. That's how quick and easy it is. It's like drag and drop. It just happened. In fact, it's click and drop. Click and drag. Click. Are we going to enable reviews? Yes, we are. Are there any expiry rules? No, there's not. I don't need to worry about schema. I don't need to worry about other. You don't have to mess around with every field here, okay? This is the juicy bit. This is where you now define your fields. And I've got quite a lot over here of social networks, phone number, email, website. If you want, you can go over. Basically, also, I should point out, you can add the fields from over here. So like a video URL, a date field even. Or you could create a bespoke one. So you could, if you want, in fact, let me just shut this one down over here. If I was to go in and create, say, checkbox, I could go here now, give it a title, go down to add options, and this is where I could now give my options like that, and that will now be the checkbox. You can have drop down, multi-select, all of that. Really simple. But the great thing about this is that if you were going to have a free version and a premium one, and you can have as many premium ones as you want, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, different levels that you want to, different fields you want to give them access to. If I say enable pay package visibility, you will not see this field when you are submitting an application unless you've got the premium package. Now, you can't select it at the moment because remember, I'm only showing you the free package. But if it was part of the packages, I could now go, right, you got to have the premium package to see that. Okay, let's just get rid of that field because I don't want to mess up anything I've got. Yeah, we're not going to have that. I mean, price list, look at this. This is where you can now, I've says, look, this is optional for you adding details of services, prices, items for sale. You can also enable a link. So if they want, they could say they're selling a bag and there's a link for that bag on eBay, or they've got a store somewhere, like they've got their own website. They could, if you want, have a link that directly goes to that product as well. I mean, I'm not too keen on enabling images, otherwise you can have image overkill, but they could put a link in as well. So this is really, really versatile in what it gives you. The key bit though, like I said, was you got to make sure that you decide at this point, are you going to let them see the fields regardless? Or do they have to be a premium package to see it? Because it is good to kind of get that set in stone now. But you can come back and edit this at any time as well. The single page, this is now where you just kind of define on the look of it. And I'm not going to go through all of these, but you decide like, are you going to have any call to action? So if we got call now, send an email, website, leave a review, share. If we go back over here to one of our pages, you can see those items over there, the quick call to actions. Let's go to content and tabs. Sorry, no, I'll come back to that. No, yeah, we'll do that one now. Content tabs. This is now where you define what is on the actual page. So I've got profile and I've got reviews. You go over here, profile, reviews. Do you want to have related listings? Probably not, because you just want people to look at yours in a way. We've already got the reviews, we've got the profile. Maybe you've got a store. Now, I have not enabled this because this is where now you would, let me just pop this back again. This is where you would now have to enable like a multi-vendor plugin inside of your website as well, because you're going to allow people to basically have their own like WooCommerce page almost. If you want to go down that road, go down that road. But, you know, if you're offering this for free, that's a bit of a project management that I don't want to take on. You can also enable bookings as well. So what would happen is, again, you would need a booking plugin. I need to get rid of those to enable that. But again, if you do that, your website becomes responsible for it. And I would say that you're probably better off creating a link like down here. Somewhere you add in a link, a URL link, and you call it Calendly maybe. When they click it, it takes them over to their Calendly page so they can go and do a booking that way. It's not that you're passing the buck, but you're a directory and you're getting exposure out there. You don't want to be full on responsible for every form of communication because that poses a lot of risk. So where were we? Yeah, content tabs. Now, when you do go into here with the profile, this is where you define what is visible. So on the submission page with the field, I might have requested 50 fields, but I'm only going to show what I want to show. So one of our fields is your company registration number, if you have one. You don't have to tell us, it's optional, but if you got one, it's not a bad idea to let us know in case we want to verify you are who you say you are. I'm not showing that to anyone here. In terms of layout, I've gone for 2/3 and 1/3, and you can see the layout here. We have 2/3 and 1/3 over here. And look, if you just scroll down, you can see the items, yeah? And if we go over here, you've got the same items, and I can basically drop items in. I can rearrange them if I want. Let's put the website over here. No, we'll pop it back over there. You have a load of control on what you want to do. You can even have single column if you want, or flip it to be 1/3 and 2/3, or 2 column. I find the masonry 2 column does not work very well, so I would ditch that, don't use it. The preview card now is basically what you would be seeing when you get to this part over here. Now I'm only showing you like a list view, which is just the title, the logo image if they supply one. If they don't supply one, it's basically blank, and your business types over here. So if you go here to your preview card, that is the list view. You do have alternate views, which are bigger, so you're going to have a bigger image in the background. I don't like doing that because if you imagine this page had, say, 50 items on there for counselling, you're only going to see so many before you have to start scrolling up and down. And I want to keep it as quick and easy to spot items, and then you can go in and view them. So that's why I've gone with the list view. I've also said that below the title, show me the business type. I'm going to come back onto this, by the way, okay, because the taxonomies are very, very important as well. I'm just going through the listing type, and then I'll talk more about the taxonomies. The quick view, we're not using any quick view on here because the idea is that when you come over here, when you hover, I don't want to have any quick view. I want to keep it very slick. I want you to actually click in and go into the actual listing because that's where you're going to get the power of it. And if you just show off here, well, image, map location, and your business type, well, you're already getting that here. So why do I just want to go when you hover over it? It's going to give you exactly the same details. I'd rather you go through to the actual listing now and now view a load more information. The search forms, this is the fun one as well. We have the advanced form, business type, location, proximity, order by. You can see that here. Business type, look, if you start type, and by the way, you know, whatever you start, let's go with Leicester. And I've said, okay, we can like shrink it down. This is not going to really expand much because we only have so many listings on here at the moment. But you can see how it works. In terms of the order by, if I go to listing order, I'm only doing top rated and latest. You can do A to Z if you want. You can do random. You can do nearby listings. But I felt those two was more than enough. Now on the home page, if we go back over here, you'll notice it just has one little drop down here. And it's only going to show you drop down items where someone is actually meeting that business type or they've submitted it. So my business types, I think I've got 21 or 22. You're not going to see all 21 and 22 unless someone is actually, you know, if someone has said they do counselling. That's why it's visible over there. So if we go to basic form, there is my business type. I could add in more. I could add location, proximity. I could add in a drop down. Maybe if you're doing events, by the way, you know, you can do events with dates and stuff like that. You can put that in as well. I've kept it really, really simple because really I want you to go to the explore page. But if you just want to jump in really quickly and go, well, okay, I want counselling, and you hit search, that now goes to counselling, which is ticked. And now there is the business for counselling. This is live, by the way, okay? This is how quick and slick it is. It's so There's a lot of work. I'm not going to lie. You do have to think about it. You will go back on yourself. Oh, change that. Didn't mean to do that. Bit of testing as well. But when it works really, really, really well. Now, when it comes to the Explore tab, which is the Explore page over here, I'm just going to give you filters like that, basically, which is the filters over here. I'm not going to put down regions or anything else like that, because I don't think I need to worry about that. Everything I want to show you is controlled by the advanced form. So again, I'm keeping it simple. If you were to go in and add in business type, okay, so right now I have just the filters. If I added in the business type, I'm just going to remove it. These are the filters. You'd have another button up here called business type, and then what it would do is it would split each one of these out into its own listing. Now, if you've got 22 of these, you're scrolling up and down, click, 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 click. It's like, why don't you just have the checkbox where I can go multiple checkbox items, for instance? In fact, let's just do it like that. You know, so this is easier from a UI experience point of view as well. Remember, think about your end user. Do not make it complicated for them. Keep it super, super simple. Right, now, if we go back to my fields, over here I have two taxonomies, business type and features. These are categories or taxonomies we've created. Rather than doing this, which is like a checkbox, I said, okay, I'm going to go and stick in my 22 business types here, and you go and pick one. Rather than doing that, the better way to do it is to go over to listings. And when you hover over listings, you're going to see features and business type. What you want to do is click on taxonomies and basically go and add in your taxonomy. So if you want to do a taxonomy now for, let's go with, I don't know, online payment, and you're only going to have yes or no as the two items in there, go and create it. Create it, just go here, click and give it a label and a taxonomy slug. Let's just get rid of that. If you are going to have a taxonomy for, say you offer education, you're a teaching website, and you're going to have a taxonomy for English, you know, Spanish, mathematics, science, all of these subjects. You would go and create a taxonomy called subjects. Once you've done that, they will then become visible over here. And if we go to business type, this is where I've gone and added in my business types. Okay, that's it. You just add them in. If I go to features, I've now gone and added in my features. You can see what we've gone there. So just because you are, say, a retail store as a business type, cards accepted, cash accepted, bank transfer, home visit, you know, parking, are you qualified, references available, all of these things. You just create them here. And it doesn't take long. You just add in your description and you hit return and it adds it in. It's that quick and easy. The great thing about that, though, is if we now go over here, you can search by these items. And when you do go through, in fact, I should show you I'm going to show you how the add listing page looks as well. You'll now have the option to go and add in your features as well. So you're controlling things. I do, however, have an option that I'm going to show you where, what if I've missed a feature? You can tell me, and then I might add it in for you later on or make it visible to everybody else as well. So this is the simplicity of the website, basically, or the MyListing theme. And we've covered up quite a bit there. But if you go through these steps, you know, you create your taxonomy, you do all of that, you create your packages, you methodically go through. And I've only got one listing type now. If I was going to create the events one, I would go through. I can have different fields, I can have different taxonomies, I can have a different layout. The layout I have here, but when you actually go in and view a page, this is for businesses. I could have a completely different layout, okay, for the events, or for cars, or for anything else, food and drink, whatever I want. That is what I like about this. You're not restricted to a one-size-fits-all kind of, this is how it looks. The fields they have to submit can be completely different, right? We've got like, I don't know, 20 odd fields. There might only be 5 for events. Again, the power is in the palm of your hand. Now, when it comes to building the actual website, in terms of pages, I do have 14 pages, but some of these are a little bit irrelevant. We have an add listing page, and I'm going to open that one up. We have a basket page, which is the cart. when you install the theme and then you install WooCommerce, it gives you a basket page rather than the cart page, but it's basically the cart page. You got your checkout. We have a contact page. I'm going to open that. We have a cookies policy. I am using Termageddon, by the way. So when you do Termageddon, it gives you like a HTML, and then you drop that into the page, and it then generates your privacy policy and all of that. The Explore page, I'm going to open that one up. The Get Listed page, I'm going to open that up. Mission statement is just a page I've created, my account, privacy policy, again, Termageddon. The shop page is there. But because everything is free and I don't have any upgrades like, do you need special search engine optimization? Do you need XYZ or whatever? I'm not doing any upgrades yet. Let the site grow and then I might start looking at upgrades. We have our homepage. Let's open that up. Terms and condition, it's just an Elementor page with text. Web accessibility statement is just a page with text. Now, if we go over to the homepage, this is all pure Elementor. Okay, everything. Everything is Elementor. We have a header, we have a footer down here, which you can probably not see properly. There you go, you can see it now. It's basically just an Elementor page. The entire layout, containers, you know, you put what you want to put where you want to put it. The only thing on here, which comes from the MyListing theme, is this widget here called Basic Search Form. And if you go over here and you just type in 27, you're going to see all the extra widgets you get. You don't have to use a lot of these, okay? Because I personally think it's easier just to kind of build it yourself. But you have a featured section, listing categories. You know, you have loads of stuff over here they give you. Quite happy keeping it simple. So what this does when you add it is basically what it will do is, let me just get rid of this. When you add it, it's going to be blank like this. So what you then do is you go, okay, I am going to show the businesses. And you get the businesses. Let me just add the events just to show you how it would have looked. So if we had events, this is how it would look. I mean, I need to style it because obviously it shows white and it needs to be a different color, and we can do that. But if you had multiple tabs, this is how they would look. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to have businesses. We're going to show it as tabs, or we could have it as a drop down. So you could now pick your different type. I prefer just to leave it as tabs, even though there is just one tab. It's okay, just let it go. You can have light, dark, or you're going to have a shadow or not. You can see without the shadow and with the shadow, it looks a little bit better. And that's it. Everything you see here is just containers. You know, and by the way, if you want to know how I created this image, this is just me going into Canva and just getting hold of some images and styling them a particular way like that. You then download them as a PNG, convert to a WebP, upload, and away you go. I mean, look, this is just a map of the locations covered, and I added in a little bit of a heart over there, and you can see it's here. Same with these images. These are just Canva. You get an image, you put a logo-ish in there, away you go. But once you know what your wording is and what you're doing, your call to actions, it's pretty simple, right? That's your homepage. Let's get rid of that. We're not going to edit it. This is the Get Listing page. Again, this is pure Elementor we're doing over here. There is no MyListing widget added in here at all. This is where I was going to do the Premier listing, but that is now no longer valid. So everything is like free forever. You know, some special rules they need to be aware of in terms of what I recommend they do for their logo sizing and main images when they're putting them on. But again, this is just pure Elementor. You know, so you can build what you want. The Explore page, this is just a page, and all I've done is, if I go over here, is I've gone and used the Explore. You drop that in, and when you drop it in, all you then do is say, what are you going to show? I've got businesses. If I was to go in and pick events, you'll see now here we got businesses and events. Well, events is pointless because we don't have any. It flips back into that. There are different templates. We can have multiple columns. So if I was to go with 2, it would now look like that. This is not so great because you can still see the map if you want to see the map, but then it flicks in, flicks out. I don't like that. You could go with 3 if you know you're going to have like loads and loads of people signing up. But if 1 is fine. But you have different templates you can mess around with as well. I mean, template 2 is a bit like that. So the listings are now down here. Template 3 looks like that. You know, you got to hit the button to see the filter. Not great from an experience point of view, or you could go with that, which is the one I hate the way that looks. But I feel like filter, results, and results over here as well. And by the way, look, you see this map? It says 2. You click it, it expands out for you. You know, search as I move them out, expand inside, you know, you can even do that. And now you'll see the whole map like that. This is really super good, okay? And there are some other further options as well about the latitude, the longitude, where it centers on, the zoom level. Look, if I just start zooming out like that, maybe your directory isn't just like a certain area. This is only going to zoom out though as many items are on the page, but if you are worldwide, this could zoom out to be worldwide, basically. And I've gone for light skin for the map. You go with dark. You know, there's different levels for you that you can go here. But I prefer the light because I want the logos they give to you to kind of stand out more. So that was the explore page. Let's not save that down. The contact page is pure Elementor, right? This is just pure Elementor. You know, there's nothing to worry about here. Now the add listing page, this is just a page I've created. It's called add listing. And all I've done is dump into this page is the add listing form. And again, look, you just go to add, you just drop the form in. When you drop the form in, you then go, well, what is this relevant to? So if there were like 20 listing types, you add all of them in. And that's basically it. So if you had 3 packages, they'd be there side by side or below one another, or however you do it. And that's basically all I need to say about that. There's not much more I can say. I do like to keep things really slim though. So you'll see there's a lot of pages, but a lot of them are actually for the footer, privacy policy, accessibility statement, mission statement, cookies policy, stuff like that. If you go over to my templates, this is how many templates I have. The default kit, well, yeah, you got to have that. Header footer. You don't have to go crazy with a template for X, a template for Y. Keep it really goddamn simple, my friends. I'm not going to show you, but if I was to go over to all listings, this will now show me the listings. I've set it so that I approve them. You don't go live unless I approve it, okay? So approve them, edit them. So if someone puts in text and I go, I don't like that, or that's not right, or you can't say that, I can edit it for them. I can even replace the images if I want. I can even delete it. So you have full-on control over that. Let me now very quickly show you, though, what would happen for a real user if they were to go in. So I'm going to just log out and go in as, let's just say I'm a brand new user. What would I see? So I could either go in and start searching, or I might say I want to add my own listing. So here we go. We go over to the page. I'm going to go for this package. I mean, even though it says buy package, it's not really buy. Just go and create an account, and then we're going to hit sign up. And this is what they see. So they go and type in your name. We'll just go with test. They can have a contact name as well. It's not a bad idea to do that for businesses. Maybe your business name is called XYZ. A contact name can go quite well. Company registration number, you don't have to complete this if you don't want, but it's not a bad idea. You can go and pop in your description or whatever you're going to say, basically. Again, I will double check these before I approve any of them. You go and stick in your website link. You go and pop in your email, pop in a phone number. You can go and add in your social networks. Let's go and hit this. Let's hit the plus sign. We go for Facebook. I'm just going to go and pop in this for now. Let's go and add one in for Twitter or whatever it's going to be called by the time this video goes out. We'll go and pop in a YouTube one. Now, what if you have a link you want to add, but the item is not down here? So let's say you got a TikTok. Just put it in other and go and pop your link in over there. But you can start adding in links. Now, can you see how, if you know of any other directories out there for your area or another, like maybe you decide you want to set one up for web designers or something, how many directories out there give you options like this? I mean, MyListing, you know, the theme, it's developed, it's evolved, and they keep adding in these brand new features. Business type, our taxonomy, so we're going to go education, financial, we also do consultancy like that as well. What about the features? Now, this is optional, you don't have to do it, but yeah, we do all of this sort of stuff, yeah, you know, you pick what you want to go for. You know, you can multi-select, and this is one other thing I would mention. When I was doing the business type, I had about 121-ish, 121, 22 different business types, and I then used ChatGPT, and I went, look, see this massive list? Condense it. give me about 20 and think very carefully about how you do this. And it gave me a list and I tweaked it a bit. And I started feeling like this kind of, I'm pretty sure this kind of covers off, like jewelry. We don't have a category for that, but it could sit within hair and beauty, for instance, or even retail. So you got to think a little bit broad. But if someone says to me, hey, we really want a jewelry category, I'll go, fine, we'll go and stick a jewelry in. But if you buy and sell jewelry, aren't you retail in a way? So too many business types can feel a little bit overkill. Now, what if there is a very important feature that I have not got visible here? Well, you know what? Add feature. So I might go over here and say gift cards. That does not mean it will appear here unless I manually add it into my taxonomy list and when I go and tick it for someone. So if someone wants to make a suggestion to me, they can do. It doesn't mean it will be visible to everyone. You go and add in your logo, you go and add in your cover image. We are using EWW Image Optimizer, so as soon as you add them, it will optimize them for you. And believe me, it works, okay? If you want to add in a cover image, so you know when you go to the actual listing, where the name was at the top, there was like an image with the opacity black over it. That's the cover image. And then any extra images, add up to 5 images. And look, when you create your field, I pop words into the description to advise them a little bit. Okay, look, there's little bits of tips on for them. The great one here is the location. So you can either type in a postcode. So I'm just going to go and type one in from Leicester City, like that. That's going to go down to Leicester City over there. Or if you don't want to pop in the postcode, you could just go with, say, a region and just go with Leicester like that. So it's up to you what you want to go for. If you do want to tell us about your address, you can do. Or maybe you don't want to give us the full address, but you just want to kind of give us some details. Again, this is optional. All right, you don't have to fill it in. And have you got a price or a services list? So I'm going to say bake cakes, and if you want to put a price in, or you could say from, I don't know, £100 or something like that. And you can add as many items as you want. And then you just hit submit listing. By the way, you can hit preview as well, and you'll get a preview of what it looks like. I like this at the moment. Go back to edit listing. There was a button, by the way, down here, the edit listing. You can edit it, submit it. I'll get an email, you'll get an email as well, and then I can go in and approve it. And that is how simple and easy it is to use. I've flown through that, but I wanted to kind of go over a little bit about my, what is the basis of this? Why have I created it? What am I trying to achieve with it? Why am I even doing it? How can you monetize it if you want? I mean, at the moment, in terms of monetization, there isn't really any on here unless you decide you want to support us by doing a donation. But I hope this really, really grows and helps out the local community. And it's not just for Syston, it does cover this area over here. We're here, East Goscote, Thurmaston, Barkby, and Queniborough. There it is, just over there as well. So MyListing Theme, it's $59. I'm not affiliated with them. There's no affiliate link. Okay, I'll put a link in down there, but it's not an affiliate or a sponsored video at all. But I hope this helps to get you thinking, and I hope this takes off. And if not, well, that's just the way it is. But I really hope it takes off. Hey, I'm Imran, Web Squadron. I hope you like, subscribe, share, and follow. I'll see you soon.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag.